Your opinion, does the NFL also need to operate in a bubble?
It's not feasible. It's virtually impossible, Skip. Because you have to understand, on some teams, Skip, there are as many coaches as there are NBA players on the roster. So if I'm just being conservative, Skip, if you're just talking about position coach and OC and DC, you're at 10 right there. Okay. Because every position has a coach. And then you have the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and they normally have 2 assistants per side. So you're talking about 14, 15 guys with the head coach. That's just coaches. Okay, you're talking about a 46-man roster plus now 12 practice squad guys. Mm-hmm. How?
For 5 months?
For 5 months, Skip. With 32. So unless you're going to say, hold on, I don't know if you're going to make Cincinnati, you're not going to make the playoffs. This team, because you know what the NBA doing, Skip. Yeah. They took the playoff teams and the teams that are within 3-4 games.
Yep.
So
they took 22 of 30.
So what are the NBA, NFL going to do? Take 16 of 32? Say the rest of y'all weren't going to make it anyway and bring them down. So if you were to take the same amount of people that the NBA is taking down for an NFL, Skip, you're talking about 16s. That's it. I don't know how it's possible that you can put that many people, 32 teams, with all those, with that entire roster, Skip, in a bubble. What place? You need a city, an entire city to be uninhabited, and then you move in, and that's it. Y'all the only ones there. And then what are you going to do with games, Skip? Okay, you got 16 games in the course of a week. Are you going to play 2 to 3 games a day? Because that's what it's going to take, Skip, to fulfill the obligation. I don't know how you do this, Skip, under the circumstances. And you look at Florida. Skip, Florida look like it's becoming the new epicenter. They got 3 teams in Florida. Texas is rising. Carolina is rising. Texas got 2 teams. I don't know how they pulled this off. And I think what's going to happen, Skip, it's basically you just throwing caution to the wind. Is that, look, it's going to happen because you see the University of Texas had, 10 players get it.
They did.
You see these NFL players.
Well, the Texans had an outbreak, and the Cowboys had a little outbreak, and now I heard Tampa had an assistant coach test positive.
Skip, I'm going to be honest, Skip. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think the NFL is going to play. They're probably not going to have fans.
Yeah.
But, Skip, I don't know how. You can't pull damn near 3,000 people off in a bubble. I just don't know how you do it, Skip. And then you got to have that's just, Skip, that's just the players and the coaches. What about the training staff? You got to have them. What about the team doctors? I don't know how you, Skip, I will be honest. I don't know how, if the NFL can pull this off, but I don't think they can do it in a bubble. They just got to say, guys, and you're gonna have to allow them to have expanded rosters, because can you imagine if Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady came down with this thing on a Thursday or Friday? You got to have the ability to just to go grab people, Skip.
Yep. So I'll be the first to admit the words from Dr. Fauci were like fingernails on my chalkboard, because I didn't want to hear it.
No.
Because I want it to be back so badly. And just when I think it's okay, it's not okay.
No.
And the good doctor says, unless players are essentially in a bubble, it would be very hard to see how football is able to be played this fall. That's quote unquote. If there is a second wave, which is certainly a possibility, and which would be complicated by the predictable flu season as the weather changes and gets colder, football may not happen this year, says Dr. Fauci.
Hey, come on, Doc.
Come on. You're talking about a buzzkill.
Yeah, he don't give you no real hope.
Wow. Come on. Give us a little glimmer of hope, a little tiny light at the end of the tunnel. Give me an if you. There's no ifs in this. It's like, it just doesn't sound good. So as Jenny pointed out, the chief medical officer of the league of the NFL, Dr. Alan Sills, responded, we are considering a bubble. What? But as Shannon Sharpe just said, how? Well, it's nice to hear you're considering it. It's kind of on your back burner, but it's impossible. You would need a bubble bigger than the state of Texas to pull this off. I've tried to figure out last night, could you do regional bubbles? Could you do divisional bubbles? Well, this league plays each other from coast to coast.
Right.
You can't have a bubble. How many football stadiums are in a bubble? It's okay at the wide world of sports at Disney World in Orlando. You got multiple basketball courts because they're contained, they're smaller. So you can get away with it in confined space.
Right.
You can have a captive audience. But how many football fields can you put into a bubble where they already exist? Well, you'd have to build the bubble.
And the thing is, Skip, okay, they taking 22 teams. They say you can have a max of 35 people. So you're looking at what, 600, 650, maybe 700 tops.
And you would expand it to guests after one round of the playoffs.
Right.
Then each team could have up to 17 guest rooms, so each player could get a guest room.
Right.
But once you brought those folks into the bubble, they can't leave the bubble either.
So you got 27. This is a rough estimate. If you just do 85 times 32, that's 2,720 people, Skip. That's with no family. So just imagine if one person brought one guest. So what bubble?
Okay, and remember, the NBA's is going to be a sprint to the finish line.
2 months.
2 months, max. Some teams much shorter than that.
Some might be a week or two.
But the NFL season goes for 5 months. Well, you can't confine a captive audience into a bubble for 5 months with those kind of numbers involved.
No, hold on. There are some players that are mad or have significant others, and they have 2, 3 kids. They're like, you're not going to leave me here with all these kids by myself. No, Skip, look, just go ahead and say, we're going to play. We're going to test every day. We're going to do everything we possibly can to make it as safe as we possibly can.
Man.
But you're not putting this many people in a bubble. That's not happening. It's theoretically impossible.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Skip, and what the thing is with the NBA is that, okay, you're in. Everybody's in. These players are going home. They're going home at night. They're going to go to the grocery store. They're going to go out and about. They're going to go do other things. So you test the guy, and he might be clean one day. You test him 2 days later, and then boom, because he's come in contact with somebody. Man, but Dr. Fauci, man, I mean, you be listening, you be wanting to hear what he got to say, but you be like,
yeah,
man, we ain't gonna ever get back to normalcy. I mean, the likelihood of us, what normal used to be, that probably not gonna happen again, Skip. But I'm trying to think, what is the new normal going to look like? Because it seems like we keep finding new normals. I just don't see how they do it, Skip. The bubble, forget the bubble. You're not putting 3,000 people in a bubble, Skip. You're not.
So to me, and I'm out of my league and lane here, but just knowing what happens inside my life and what's happened here in California, it seems like every state or place that reopens
or reopen early.
Too early, then everybody says, it's summertime. I'm free. Let's go out and party. Let's take our mask off. Who needs a mask? It was all overrated to start with. It was all exaggerated to start with. And boom, boom, boom. We have outbreak. You know, we got spike across the country because everybody quit observing the rules.
Right.
And it probably didn't.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to put fear. Right. You know, it's an election cycle, and they're trying to do this to scare everybody. Okay. Because there are some states, Skip, that the testing is going down, but the numbers are rising.
So maybe we're going to have a new correction where everybody realizes we got to go back to the old way. Not to be quarantined at home, but you just got to go back to being more careful. You're going to have to put your mask back on.
My liberty, Skip, you're infringing on my liberties. Okay. I don't want to wear it, and I shouldn't have to. It's not about you. I want to be able to do what I want to do. So if I infect you, so be it. That's how people thinking, Skip. Yeah, they're not thinking about everybody else. They're not thinking about, me. And plus, what do we see? If we see the most powerful, and he don't wear one, or nobody around him wears one, or nobody on that side wears one, that's my thing. I ride with him.
And if he says we're winning against the virus,
it's going to disappear.
Yeah.
It's Skip. I don't know, Skip. I want Skip. You know, hey, we want live sports, live team sports, American team sports. I mean, they're playing Korean baseball and they're playing soccer, but we want to see that. Skip, I don't know how.
They're playing golf.
Right, they're playing golf.
It's a non-contact sport.
Right.
And football is the ultimate contact sport.
And how you play it with a mask? You have guys passing out, Skip. It's already hard enough to breathe with that helmet and shoulder pads on. Can you imagine trying to play with a face cover?
Well, you got to have some kind of shield on. You're just going to have to. And look, here's my hope. this league, the National Football League, is run by extremely smart people who are usually ahead of the curve.
Right.
So surely they have already calculated how to defeat this the best ways possible. And so if the protocols, the rules for every team are so severe, maybe they have a chance. If everybody lives in utter severe caution, where again, they're not going to have a bubble. They go home, like you say, so you're going to have risk. But if they go home safely and cautiously, maybe we can get through an NFL season.
All the players had to do was wait another 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'd have held out. And guess what that CBA would have looked like? It would have looked a lot different. I ain't going back to play. That's what y'all going to do, Skip.
Well, that ship sailed a long time ago.
Skip, I'd have waited them out. I said, okay, COVID, hey, I ain't going back. It's too dangerous for me.
Okay.
But this is what we going to want if we were to come back and play. I'm going to need no franchise tag. I'm going to need the ability, hey, no more designation. Oh, contract up. All that. I want all that stuff.
So you could have gone baseball on football, right?
You see what baseball
Yeah.
did? It's funny how they wanted baseball players to take 50% and 60% of prorated salary. Baseball players say no. Football players would have taken it. Baseball said, no, we're going to get 100% of prorated salaries based on the amount of games that we play. And they said, okay.
Okay.
I hadn't thought of it that way. I mean, we're all out of our league in this one, but I know selfishly we want sports. We love it. Well, look at us. This is what we do. This is what keeps us going. So we just hope everyone can be, healthy in the end. And Shannon, if you could get me one of your designer masks, really appreciate that. Really help the look. I'm trying to go
I got one.
Yeah, if you could share one for us, that'd be nice.
I got too many masks.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.